pocket change.
Nemo is the 27th letter of the alphabet.
Yeah. Actually, fun fact. In German, I believe there is 27 letters in the alphabet.
I'm German.
Yeah,
See, I just
are
got
you?
confused.
You just
I
didn't
am.
know. You didn't know.
It just got a little bit confused.
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
head
Your
for a
bilingual
moment.
brain that
Yeah.
doesn't speak German.
Shh. They don't know that.
I don't even know what they counted as a letter though, because it's just two S's. Yeah,
Aren't
it's called an esset. It's
Yep.
that B that doesn't look like a B.
Well, I don't know German. I mean, I do know. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. No. You speak German.
I speak German. Yeah.
I want you to finish the podcast in German.
No.
I only speak in German because I actually do speak a little German, so I could probably piece something together.
Guten Tag.
Guten Abend.
You know German?
Yeah,
Why?
I took German for 2 years in high school.
I took Spanish for
I
like
had
6 years.
I had the
and I
worst
still
German
don't know
teacher.
Spanish.
I had the worst German. Do you want me to tell you German stories?
Okay.
Do we have time?
No, but go ahead.
Okay, I'm telling German stories. This is the day. This is it. You know what? No. I'll cut. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out, and this is going to be a pocket change episode.
Do it.
Okay. Yeah, so I was in German for 2 years in high school, and 1 year, my freshman year and my sophomore year, because I had to take 2 years of a language. And I was going to do 2 years. You could have counted, in our high school, you could have counted like coding as a language because you were learning a second language. If you took 2 consecutive years of coding, which I did. I took 3 consecutive years of coding, which I gleaned in
German.
And German. Well, because my freshman year they had that rule, and then my sophomore year they dropped the rule and they didn't leave me grandfathered in. So I had to take German a second year, and I have hair in my face because I need a haircut. I need to cut my hair. And I had my freshman year I had this great German teacher. She was super sweet. She was very intelligent. And then she left.
Aww.
And I got a demon instead. It was
like an actual demon?
Yeah, an actual demon.
That's pretty cool. You
could
can make a movie out of that.
I could, as my demon Tog.
What do you call a professor or teacher in German?
Well, you'd call him Miss, which is Frau, or Mr., which is Er.
So that demon, Mr. Demon.
Is Miss.
Miss
So
Demon.
it'd be Frau Demon.
But
Yeah, so she was, for the longest time, the German teacher at our high school. She was the German teacher when my oldest brother was in high school. To put that in perspective, my oldest brother is 5 years older than me.
You made that sound like it was going to be a lot bigger.
5 years is a long time, especially since she was there. He took 4 years of German, had her all 4 years, and then she left, and then I came in high school. That she was gone for 1 year. I just realized she was gone for 1 year. Yeah. Anyway, she comes back, and she's oh my goodness, she was so mean. So ridiculously mean.
Well, she was a demon.
She was a demon, yeah. I mean, just
that's
put
kind
it
of the point.
Yeah, that's their thing. That's their shtick. She was so mean. I was in this class for 1 year. I would have taken more years of German if it not for that. I was going to say it. I was going to say a real mean word.
Whoa.
I can't, though, because I feel like that's not nice to... She's never going to listen. That bitch of a teacher. She was evil.
She listens to this and she writes.
Oh,
really
I hope
mean,
she does. I hope
she writes a really mean letter to you in German.
She's like, I hope you remember German. Well, guess what, Frau? I don't.
Whoa.
Yeah, because of you. But she was so mean. I was sitting next to a girl that was not the brightest. And, we have to take 2 years of German. So we were in German together, and she was taking the class. She was, passionate about German. She was enjoying the language. But this teacher was just treating her like an idiot, like a total idiot. Like, I'm sitting there, I'm completing my work as, during the day, because I'm a smart person who got number 5 in my class. I don't know if you guys know that or anything. But it's whatever.
I got number 2 in my class.
Yeah, shut up, no cares. And I'm not kidding. I was sitting there. I would finish my work, and she purposefully sat me next to the student so that I could help her with her work, which is fine. Like sometimes teachers do that. But then if she still couldn't figure it out, she would come over and she would be like, "Okay, now this means this, right? So what does this mean?" But like
really condescending.
Like, and when she didn't really get it, she'd be like, this means this. Okay, this just means this. Like, just why don't you understand this? Like, it makes sense. It's German. And I was just like,
It's German.
yeah, she doesn't speak that language. Yeah, and there was a whole bunch of drama because remember that best friend I told you about that was diabetic? He and I were in the class together that year before we found out he was diabetic, long time before we found out he was diabetic, like 2 years.
Full circle.
Yeah, full circle. And he and I were in that class, and he and I were best friends, so we basically took all the same classes, right? And we were in band together, and he was a trumpet player. And part of the German thing with our school is that you can compete in these like German competitions where like you can go and do like German like trivia game, which I don't remember. There was basically, like UIL. Do you know what that is? University Interscholastic League, which is basically like how to teachers flaunt their students to other schools.
Yep.
You could do that, but with like German specific stuff. And one of the things was German band. And he was an amazing trumpet player. Like he was number one in our district for a bit. We had really, really pushy students at the time, and one of them was just like, hey, you're joining German band. He was like, I don't want to. And she literally dragged him in there. And him being too nice of a guy to say no was like, okay, fine, whatever, I'll just do it. But like he didn't have the time, he didn't care, he wasn't passionate about it. He was just there because people kept telling him to go and he didn't have a choice. Well, eventually, a week before they're supposed to compete, he's like, okay, like, I don't care about this. This is nothing that I don't have a passion behind this. I've been trying to quit. He attempted to quit multiple times and they just told him no. He's like, I've been trying to quit for the better part of this school year. I'm done. I'm out. And he just dropped it and he never came back. And she was so pissed at him, so ridiculously pissed at him that she was like taking it out on him in class and me vicariously because she hated him and he and I were best friends, so she hated me vicariously. And it got to the point, it was so bad that she was offering cash to any student that would play the trumpet in this competition with them. Like cash, like she pulled kids out of class and was like, hey, I will give you $50 if you will play in this band. And they all refused.
Why? Well, thank God.
Yeah, they all refused because they all knew who she was and why he quit. And then it gets worse. So she starts treating me and my best friend like total shits. Like she was mean to us. She would call us out in class. And this was a point when like I was starting to tune out in class, and I'm not kidding. There was one day where I slept the entire class. She called on me. I woke up, gave the correct answer, went back to sleep.
Brilliant. You'll love to see it.
And then it was nearing the end of the year and we were having a really tough time, and she was like literally talking shit about us, like behind our backs to other students, which I'm like, that's really unprofessional. Hope you got fired. I know she didn't though. And then at the end of the school year, she takes me and him, pulls us aside into the home ec room and sits us down at a table, and she's like, I'm sorry. And we were like, no way, she's apologizing. She was like, I'm sorry that you guys had such a bad year. And we were like, you were this close.
Wow,
you were so close.
You
were so close. We were like, and she held us in there. She was like, is there anything that I could have done? Is there anything that you could do?
Yeah, you could have not like made fun of us or been mean to us.
Yeah, and we were just like, well, I'm sorry. And then we kind of spoke our minds, and then she literally would not let us go to our next class until we apologized. And so we were like, fine.
I would have sat there. I would have just sat there.
And then it was like we were sophomores. We were like 15 years, and this lady's like in her 90s. She's so
no,
old.
Honestly, how old was she?
She was
was she like older or like middle aged?
She was old.
Oh, okay,
she was like 70s.
Makes more sense.
Like
okay.
Late 60s, early 70s.
Okay.
And we're like 15-year-olds, and like we don't know how to stand up for ourselves. Like we're still asking people to go to the bathroom.
Oh, man,
like
yeah.
And so we're just like, yeah, well, fine, we're sorry. And then we leave, and we're like, we were so traumatized after that. Like he had to call his mom.
Oh,
and he was like, oh, I'm sorry to call him out like that. I hope he doesn't listen to the podcast.
Well, you never mentioned him by name.
Yeah, but he had to call his mom afterwards, and he was just like, yeah, like she pulled us aside, and then his mom was livid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my, I'm livid.
Both of our mothers were teachers, as well. Not at that high school, but at the middle and elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
and they were livid. My mom was just like, wow, that's really, really stupid. I'm sorry you went through that. But his mom was like a kind of helicopter parenty at
Yeah.
times. And so she kind of like went nuts to the wall with it for a bit. And he was like, just don't make a big deal out of it. And she's like, I'm making a big deal out of it. And then it was a shit show. It was just a ridiculous shit show.
I
But
would have sat there. If she would not have let me go to my next class, I would have sat there the entire day. And when my teachers asked me what happened, I'd be like, she wouldn't let me leave.
yeah, you say that you would do that, but you wouldn't do that.
No, I'd 100% do that.
You really?
100%.
Wow.
15? Oh, yeah. Teachers can't treat you like that.
Oh,
I've had too many bad teachers back in elementary school who just were so strict and not stupid, but like had the stupidest rules, and I was tired of it by high school. And so I had amazing teachers in high school, don't get me wrong, but if a teacher had done that to me, nah, I would have sat there the entire time. I'm not apologizing to you. You were rude to me. I know that I wasn't rude to you. I know what good and bad are. I know what right and wrong
well,
is.
I mean, I was almost definitely rude to her at some points. Because
see, I would have never been
but
rude to her.
she instigated, like she was digging for it.
No, I would have sat there.
She was digging for it, and it was just like, oh, it was just such a terrible experience. And after that, I just started learning all new languages by Duolingo, and now the owl threatens me.
I had to delete the app.
He's like, learn your languages or else.
I 100% would have sat there. And I wish I could do that. I wish I could go back in time and just do that, because I'd hope that another another teacher or somebody would walk in and see what was going on. And I'd just be like, yeah, she won't let me leave. Like, she can't do that. You can't do that. That's against the law. That has to be against some kind of law.
I don't know.
To hold a student in contempt?
In contempt?
Like, what do you... No, I don't know. That pisses me off so much.
Mm-hmm.
Some teachers, it makes me sad for... There are just some people out there who are not meant to be teachers, and it's so sad that being a teacher is something that's really easy to do, because, especially in Texas, all you really need is a degree, and you can become a teacher and get certified, and it doesn't matter, like, if you know child behavior, things like that, you can go and become a teacher. And then the next generations have to suffer because of that and have terrible teaching, and then grow up hating specific subjects. And I've said this before, like, I love math. And I think it's because I had great math teachers. And I think because other people don't like math, they had terrible math teachers. They didn't know how to teach it specifically to them. Or people who hate English, they didn't have good English teachers. I think the people that we have teaching the next generation it's so important, and it bothers me that it's so easy for somebody to become a teacher.
Yeah, my mom's a teacher, and she's one of the most brilliant women I've ever met. Like, she is so ridiculously smart, and she knows children. She's taught special ed. I believe she's teaching special ed right now. And she's just like, the stuff that she's had to put up with certain students is really sad, and then like other teachers as well is really sad. My sister-in-law is a teacher. She's like, I'm telling, like, they're such smart and creative and brilliant women in their own right, and like, to have some teachers just sort of ruin people's views of teachers is just sad.
And I want to say that I don't mean that in a negative way to, I don't know how to say it, to teachers in general. Because there are some amazing teachers out there. And I don't mean to say like, oh, becoming a teacher is so easy and it's easy to ruin it. No, there are people genuinely out there whose passion in life and goal in life is just to teach and to help the next generation and help kids. And I admire those people so much. I wanted to be a teacher when I was younger. I'd still like to be a teacher, but at this state, at the point I am in my life, I don't think I could do it because I'm just not qualified enough. Even if I got a degree, I would so much rather be prepared and know more about child psychology and the best ways to pander or help specific students who are better with tactile learning or visual learning and things like. There's so much that goes into how you teach a human being. And I don't mean that all teachers are bad, or that how dare you go into an easy profession. That's not what I'm saying at all. I just mean that there are definitely teachers out there who go into it because it is so easy and they don't really know the impact that they're having. But there are brilliant teachers out there. again, everybody, all my teachers in high school were incredible.
What are we talking about?
Talking about music.
Yeah.
How do we want to end this? Do we want to do something to specifically end this?
This bit?
Because this was a pocket change.
Yeah, so this was recorded in the middle of our music episode because I just remembered all that stuff. So, yeah, I guess this is going to be some pocket change. So, thanks for joining us to get a little bit richer. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Media for the Intellectually Impoverished is produced by Trey Taylor Smith and Miranda Randi Zapes.
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at MFTII Podcast or email us at mftiipodcast@gmail.com.
That's MFT, 2 Eyes, Podcast. Thanks for listening.